Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back, of course, to the Time Bomb channel. Hope all is good in your part of the world. We're going to go micro brand today with our a rather nice retro shiny thing from our Polish cousins over at VRATISLAVIA CONCEPTUM. This is the heritage chrono, as the name would suggest on the video label there. And there we have our watch inside. You can see a very, very retro inspired chrono, which has got some aspects to it that I really, really, really dig, and just a couple that obviously, as for most of us, I'd like that they've done differently. Just while I pull that out of the box and get to the specs, I wanted to add a little bit of background to the brand themselves, in case they're a new brand for you also. They were started back, I think, in 2012 by a chap called Marcin. Other than that, I wasn't able to find out much more detail. I don't even know his surname, or anything behind the brand other than that. Their models, though, do seem to run to limited edition pieces for a while, and then they get replaced by newer creations. And if you have any interest in history, or like a history nerd like myself, then the design references and cues that they take will probably resonate really rather pleasantly with you. Take, for example, one of their previous iterations, this one created to celebrate a pistol, an important pistol in their history. Fine steely grey lump of steel for your wrist. Other one then to honour the Arctic adventures of Henryk Arctowski. I've probably butchered the pronunciation there, apologies for that. But more importantly, an ice-cool dial design. And lastly, this one that I picked up as well that I liked was to mark the centenary of Polish independence, something that the Poles have had to work on for many, many years. And to me, that's a seriously stunning case-back design to mark that moment in history. Normal disclaimer, of course, is I've got no connection to the brand. I'm just putting this out there for intro. Let me just pause the camera there so I can focus in a little closer. And then as well, just to show you the box, sort of a light stained wood here. Just got your little paperwork details at the top, little cushioning here. Quite a noisy click, sorry about that. And onto our watch for today. Yeah, I kind of like it. I picked it up on eBay second hand. There was something about it that appealed. I think, and on wrist it really works quite well. But before I start rambling, let's look at some of those key specs. We're looking at 42 mils across, but just before you bulk at that width, as you can see, it's quite squat, and that's probably helped indeed by the mere 48 mils north to south, making it sort of, that cushion-esque case sit very comfortably on wrist. And then it's only 12 mils deep as well, so I think very, very manageable for most. We've got a little signed push-pull crown over here as becoming or befitting of a chrono. See if I can pick it up against that white background. And then up top you've got sapphire with a little bit of a dome, very gentle dome to the center. And then thankfully lots of very, very necessary AR coating applied underneath. Otherwise I think this would just simply become way too shiny. It's sitting then on 20mm lugs attached to this rather rally-esque leather strappage here, white stitching. Smooth on the back as well. And then just at the top here, we've got a signed buckle also. Watch, as you'd probably expect for something like this, comes with 100 meters worth of watery goodness. And then buzzing away inside, we've got a Miyota Quartz Cal 6S21. From research that shows that's a part of the 6SXX family of quartz chronos that don't necessarily quite qualify for Mecha Quartz status, but they do come with the versions there that have the horizontal subdials here, but then also the vertical subdials also. A nice pleasing click to that chrono action also. Yeah, it's not a click, it's quite pleasant, as opposed to a lot of the other ones which really do have a very heavy duty crunch. That chrono hand then beats 4 times per second, and that comes then with an interesting realignment reset function when involving battery changes. So let's just pause that, swing it back round up to the top, and that involves pulling out your crown to the full, so two points out, and then the top button here, if we hold and depress it, yep, it comes all the way back down. So you hold and depress, and this will then allow you to realign your chrono up to the top. So if you stop it there, you can punch it back in to get it as close as possible. Yeah, that's pretty spot on. It's slightly off. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that pulls it back just a little bit further. It's not 100% million percent lined up, but I think it's pretty okay. My first niggle then, let's get on to that, is the bezel. You've got that lovely matte insert here, decent sort of, silver markings on there. So they've gone for a lot of silver as opposed to making them white. And then these great chunky knurlings on the side, kind of reminiscent a little bit of the Kuroburi's knurlings. They look pretty similar, actually. But then they are, of course, completely redundant because that bezel isn't going anywhere. So they really do look the part, but for us bezel twiddlers, rather frustratingly, they aren't going anywhere. And I'm not sure that they should have made that knurling so attractive if they can't be twiddled. Because, yeah, literally the only thing you can do is run your finger or your thumb around them. However, that is counterbalanced, of course, I think, by that silver dial, which is just absolutely beautiful. Doesn't matter which way you look at it, it just pops. I mean, really pops. I think the Silver Surfer somewhere is having a wet dream right now thinking about this dial. Even outside in the sunshine, I mean, the light play off it is just absolute class. It really is very pretty indeed. And I think as well those Panda subdials, they're placed just at the perfect width outside on the dial as well, allowing quite a lot of the center silver to shine through as well. And I think they sort of balance out quite nicely with that matte black on the bezel also. And then lastly, I think if we get up close here on this shot, you'll see that the real fine record grooves on those subbies also, but you do have to get very close to pick them up. Those of you who do refer to the date window, I think you might want to have a look twice at this one because it is quite deep set. And from certain angles, I mean, here just on the single digit, it seems quite fine. But again, as you see on this additional shot there, it's quite deep. And so half of those digits do get covered in shadow quite a lot. However, just coming back to the dial and the rehort, I'm not sure if it's going to pick it up here in this light. I'll throw up a close up here. You find that the rehort and the crystal really do catch the reflection of the minute track quite pleasantly. And as I've been looking at it this week, I found myself actually looking for that reflection, quite often, just to see it. Just really nice little detail just on the side there. What else did I want to say? So, okay, unfortunately, that then leads me to my second gripe, which is on the dial, and that's the blue loom here. It's definitely there, but it is a little underwhelming to the point of being ineffective in the dark, and that's a little bit of a shame. I'm not sure if it's because it's not applied thickly enough, or there just isn't the surface area there on those hands to really make it effective. Bit of a shame. The case body as well was another thing that really appealed to me. Again, very brushed. You've just got a little bit of an angled shoulder there again, but it's not highly polished again. So they've, tried to sort of mute it a little bit again. Again, obviously, probably, just be way too shiny. Again, that cushion-esque shape, as I mentioned before, helps it sit on wrist really very easily, as you can see here. And I think the width of the watch is the width of the watch is easily managed due to those shorter north to south. I did also want to highlight the case back here. Nice engraved design there. Pretty sure that's an Aston Martin. Not sure which DB it is. Might even be the James Bond one there. Get a little closer here. It says it is designed in Poland. I'm not sure if that means that they're actually also made in Poland. And I think then that the number plate on the car there refers to the limited edition, but I'm not sure which one of the 150 issued this one actually then is. So all in all, quite an interesting micro brand that I don't think gets a lot of press, but they're certainly making some quite interesting watches. But yeah, you've also got to be quick if you're interested in picking one up, because because of that limited aspect. I think, so in conclusion, it's not really a very unique design in that sense, because there's quite a few other similarly created designs, so they're obviously doffing their caps to that. But as a micro brand, I really do like it. I think they're just offering something quite different. The silver and the steel as well, to me, are total eyeball magnets from every angle. The overall finishing, I think, as well, is not exactly flawless, but it's pretty bloody good. And it also cost me secondhand not that much more than some of the AliExpress offerings. And to my eyes, it's far superior, and it has got something behind it. There's some backstory to it. But anyway, that's just my simple opinion. Over to you guys. Please do drop us a comment down below as to the brand and their watch, and if you perhaps own one of those other ones. It'd be really good to hear your thoughts as always. All right, so that's a wrap for today. Thanks as always for your time and for your view. And of course, until the next vid, this is your host, the Bombardier, signing off. Cheers, guys.